Hello, 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 everybody. Liz is here, and we are just about to start our new live session. Thanks for joining me. And while we are waiting for more people to come, please let me know that you can hear me clearly and you can see me clearly. There is a comments box, so you can use it to communicate with me. And I really appreciate you use it because when there is interaction during the live session, it's always much easier for myself to present and feel a little bit more comfortable because I basically speak to myself right now. And when I don't see any comments, I feel a little bit confused. And let me share the topic of today's session so that everyone can see it. Today we are going to talk about different online teaching platforms. I hope that this topic will be interesting and useful because there were a lot of requests before, and I just figured out that this topic will be really useful to many people who are willing to start teaching online. And just quickly, let me share some slides with you. My name is Lisa. I am from ITTT, International TEFL and TESOL Training. Feel free to join us on your favorite social networks because we usually share different useful tips and different teaching materials and stuff like that all over our social networks. So make sure you follow us, you subscribe, and you'll get notified when there is new content. As for myself, I am based in Yekaterinburg, Russia. It's pretty nippy here, around 30 degrees below zero. These 2 weeks have been quite cold, I should say. And what about you? Where are you guys from? Let me know in the comments. I really, really glad to see people from all over the world, and it's always interesting about you. So let me know, where are you from? How is the weather there? When it's cold outside, I feel so so low, and sometimes it's quite difficult to keep working. So what about you? I hope you have the sun in the sky because it's so gloomy here. But I am so happy to stay at home and be able to work from home. It's much more comfortable to have this home office. Yeah, hello. I feel like there are many people from sunny countries like Egypt. What else? Greece. Hello, guys. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming. And just quickly, we'll overview some countries where the majority of people from. Oh, there are some people from Thailand. It's so cool. I used to live in Thailand for about 4 months, and it was such a pleasure. I love Thailand. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. There are people from the US as well. Glad to know that different nations are interested in this live stream. And thanks for watching if you join me weekly, because these sessions are regular, and I have my lives every Tuesday, and my colleague Linda goes live on Fridays. So make sure you join us, and we will be super happy to share our personal experience and other useful tips related to TEFL. And right now, let's go back to the point of today's session, and make sure you stay up until the end, because I will definitely share a special offer at the end of this session. So stay tuned, and I hope the whole overview of different online teaching platforms will be useful to you, and you'll find something for your future teaching careers. All right, and right now, let's start from here. I would love to have a small discussion again. So on this slide, oops, wait for it. Let me make myself a little bit smaller. Yeah, like this. So on this slide, you can see two different modes of online teaching employment, which are online teaching companies and online teaching marketplaces. So right now in the comments box, please, guys, let me know if you understand the difference. So what's the difference between online teaching companies and online teaching marketplaces? Online teaching companies are also stand for online schools. So what do you think is the difference here between the first one and the second one? Share your thoughts in the comments, please, and I will show everybody during the session as well, and we will discuss it like we're having a chat here, okay? And just a quick reminder, if you guys listen to this live session as a podcast, thank you so much for downloading and for using this type of media. We really appreciate your interest, and we hope that you always find something useful and interesting for yourselves. Okay, so guys, do you have any idea on online teaching schools and online teaching marketplaces? If this point is absolutely new to you, let me know. So because there are some people who basically don't teach online, I just want to know if this aspect is familiar to you. If it's not, of course, I'll tell you what's the difference and we will discuss it further. Okay, just one more second. What do you think is the difference between online schools, online teaching companies, and online teaching marketplaces? Any idea? If no, then let me just click it further and show it. So if you see another slide related to popular resources, devoted to popular resources, you'll quickly understand what's the difference between online teaching schools and online marketplaces. So there are such companies as VIP Kid, Magic Years, Q Kids, and italki and Cambly. The companies on the left are closed online schools. The companies on the right are marketplaces where teachers can advertise their services. And the main difference is that the companies, the online schools, they usually have their own closed platforms, and they have strict requirements in terms of employment compared to online marketplaces. When teachers want to work through marketplaces, they usually are responsible for advertising themselves, creating profiles that will attract the audience, and it's basically on themselves. Um, if you work for an online school, you represent it as a teacher, and you have a great benefit of doing almost nothing apart from teaching itself. So I, for example, used to teach at an online school, and it was quite a great experience, I should say, because I didn't need to find students on my own. The employer provided me with all the materials, and it was just about delivering classes. It was pretty convenient, but the drawback was that the income was quite low. As for online teaching marketplaces, it's a bit different. You work hard, you push yourself, pull your weight to advertise yourself, and you can charge whatever money you want, basically. So that's the main difference between online teaching companies and online teaching marketplaces. But as for this companies I listed on this slide, they are quite renowned and popular. Everybody knows them. So I feel like the point of today's session is to get you acquainted with some other resources that can be really interesting, and that can be more or less interesting in terms of getting real employment, because with such companies as VIP Kid, it's quite difficult to get hired, especially if you're a non-native teacher. Frankly speaking, I tried to apply for a position on VIP Kid, and they didn't let me in, just because I was a non-native teacher. And yeah, it's something we should face, but it's totally normal that some companies have such requirements, because they basically have their placement. They target at some specific people, and it's always like up to them who to hire. But there are platforms which are basically for everybody, and they are quite inclusive. So let's see what I have just found. Yes, quickly. So on this slide, I have listed 6 companies I found on the internet. They are not that famous, but they still hire teachers from all over the world. And you are not necessarily need to be a native speaker. It will be possible to apply if you are a non-native speaker with like proficiency level of English. So there are 3 companies which I call online schools. They are listed on the left, and online teaching marketplaces to consider are on the right. I will further explain you what are the main requirements and what are the differences. And I also want you to know that there are hundreds of companies to work online. I will later on during the session, I will share a link to a useful resource where different companies are listed. They are filed according to countries and according to, well, there are different filters, so you will be able to find such company you will be really interested to work for. Hello, guys. I can see your comments. Thanks for joining us. We are right in the middle of the session, and I hope you will stay here up until the end, because at the end of the session, I will share a special offer, first of all, and of course, I'll share this link I have just mentioned. So you will be able to find more online teaching companies, and hopefully it will be useful for your future online teaching career. So let's go further with the presentation. Yeah, one more thing to mention here. So companies on the left, they are Chinese as well, like, for example, VIP Kid. And the Chinese market is the biggest one. And the demand for English teachers is huge there. So I just recommend to consider it, because these companies usually have a lot of students, and you won't be just sitting and waiting for nothing, like, so working for a Chinese company is quite good, I should say. So these two companies devoted to young learners. Their target audience is young learners. And as for this company, Lingua TV, it is actually based in Germany, and they teach adults business English, and they also prepare for exams. They are based in Germany, but they have offices all over Europe, as far as I understood. So their website is localized in very different language, in many different languages. So I feel like their students are from all over Europe. And if you're interested, for example, in teaching French people, or I don't know, Russians, this platform is just right for you. And I know there are some teachers, some TEFL teachers, who are willing to work with adults. So just consider this company, because they not only have this audience, but they also have their own courses. So you won't need to create your personal materials and stuff like that, because they provide everything. And as for online marketplaces, there are Preply, Lingoda, and Cafe Talk. I suppose the first two are also well known, and you've probably heard about them, but I feel like they are less overrated as italki, for example. And uh, as far as I know, on italki right now, it's impossible to get a profile. It's impossible to apply, because they don't have openings for English, and it's so pity. But if you are interested in teaching on an online marketplace, consider Preply, Lingoda, or Cafe Talk. And let me tell you about Cafe Talk a little bit more. It's a really interesting platform. It is Japanese, but they also have offices in Korea, in South Korea, and in Canada. But their main audience is Korean, probably, and Japanese. And teachers are paid in Japanese yen, as I understood. But there is also accounting in US dollars. So it's not that difficult to understand what are the prices, what are the rates. And as for this platform, it's also interesting that it's possible to teach not only English, but many various subjects, like dancing, yoga, or whatever you are interested in. So if you basically want to teach English, but you would like to teach some other subjects, it's also a great idea to find an online marketplace, because you can advertise whatever skills you have. Right. So let me just quickly look through the comments box so that I know there are some people. Okay. Right. So if you guys have any specific questions related to online teaching and online teaching platforms, feel free to comment, and later on I'll answer your questions. And now let's see some requirements. I hope you can see this table here. Can you guys? So if you need me to make it a little bit bigger, I'll try my best to do that, because it can be not that clear. Well, let me remove my picture from the slide so you can see it a little bit better. So you can see this table with requirements for 3 online teaching companies. I have already mentioned earlier in the session that online schools usually have stricter requirements, especially concerning the English level and qualifications. So you can see in this box, in this table, that, for example, Zebra English hires non-native speakers who are able to speak English at an idiomatic level, but it is also important that those English teachers are eligible to work in US or Canada. So it means that you can be a non-native speaker having a work visa in Canada or the US. So it is still possible to work for this company. And I suppose if you contact them, it is possible to find out if they can be more or less flexible in terms of employment. Lingua TV doesn't have such requirement as a work visa in the US, but they still require you to be skilled in English, and it's better to have a language certificate. I suppose it's really common for non-native English teachers to pass IELTS or TOEFL, whatever, just to prove that you have those English skills. And it's important to have a TEFL certification. So if you want to work for an online teaching school, it's a great idea to be as professional as possible. If you're if you're falling behind a little bit yet, it's a great idea to start working on your CV, on your resume. So make sure you find courses, you work on your teaching development, and so on. And as for the last online school, Top Online Teachers, they have less requirements, and I recommend you to look at their website, because they have a really cozy team, I should say. They try their best to assist as much as it is possible to their English teachers. So I feel like if you have a nice resume, if you have your TEFL certificate, if your language ability is at the highest level, it will be just it will be really easy for you to start working for such company. And they also aim to hire teachers long term. And this company works in China. They also provide some training as well. And I suppose many online teaching platforms have their professional development for teachers and will help you to learn a little bit more about online teaching and ESL in general. And as for other platforms, as for marketplaces, Preply, Lingoda, and Cafe Talk, they have slightly different requirements compared to online teaching schools. As you can see, it's much easier to get into online teaching if you place yourself on an online teaching marketplace. So, for example, compared this, if we compare all of these options, Lingoda is the most difficult one, but it's still possible to start working for this company as well. So if you don't have much experience and you are, for example, studying at a TEFL course right now, you can consider trying to apply for an online marketplace, and you'll be able to get a little bit of experience at the very beginning of your teaching career. I suppose it's just gold, because it's much easier to teach when you have some experience from the very beginning. Okay, and as for the rates, let's see the rates. When I was researching, I found out that rates differ across the companies, so if you look at this table, you can see that Zebra English offers nice salaries. It's like 16 to 24 per hour. But this amount of money has different benefits inside, and it can be slightly less at the beginning of your teaching for their platform, because basically at the beginning of your work you have like a base salary which is much less, but while you are developing in the company and in your teaching, they raise accordingly. With Lingua TV, they don't write about their rates on the website, but everything, the hiring process is all like closed. So if you want to find out a little bit more about their vacancies, it's a great idea to contact them, because the salary is based on your interview results as well. And top online teachers offer a little bit less compared to Zebra, but they still, I think the salary is still quite competitive, because, for example, online teaching schools in Russia, they offer much less than this. And as I have already mentioned, I tried to work for an online school. It was at the beginning of my online teaching career, because I wanted to find out how it all works, how to organize my lessons, and I didn't want to spend much time on planning. So I just decided that whatever rates they provide me with is okay, and started working for them. But as a result, I understood that their rates were too low. It was, I suppose, like about $5, which is quite low. But there are still some countries where where local currencies are quite weak to the US dollar, and the population is just can't afford to hire teachers and pay a lot. So it's just my point of view. I'm not sure that it's true, but comparing Russia and China, I suppose it's like that, because there are a lot of English teachers in our company. We all are quite professional, so our teaching community is really, really tough and strong. Teachers work a lot on their self-development, but I still see some private tutors who charge like, well, like about $5. And they believe that it's okay just because of the current prices and current currency. Yep. And the last point is the last but not least, online marketplaces rates. So as I have already mentioned, it's up to you how much to charge on online teaching platforms, but you should know that all platforms take their cuts. And next week, or maybe even this week, there will be an interview with a teacher who works for Preply. We will publish this interview on our TEFL weblog. So if you're interested in how things are done on Preply, make sure you follow our weblog, and you'll find this interview. It was quite informative, and yes, that teacher told about the percentage as well, how much she pays to the company. But generally speaking, all marketplaces have their fees, and teachers just include the fees in the rates. And I know that there are some marketplaces, I don't remember which ones for sure, but some online placements, they have fees up to like 50 or even 60%, which is just a great amount of money. But these are their rules, and we can't do anything with it. Right. So one more time, let me see the comments box. Yeah, I see there are many people giving their feedbacks. Thank you so much for sharing your feelings. I hope that this information will be useful to you. And right now, let me share the link I have mentioned already. So there are many online platforms to teach for. And if you follow this link, you will find just hundreds of online teaching platforms to consider. Make sure you check it out, because who knows, maybe these online platforms I have just referred to are not as good to you guys as some other platforms can be. So make sure you find something interesting using this resource. I have just shared it on the comments box. And as I have already said, we are sharing a special offer Thanks for joining us today. And here is a convenient way to get your 30% discount. If you want to apply for an online TEFL course or whatever course you need, today you can get a 30% discount of any ITTT TEFL courses. So you can scan this QR code with your cell phone, or just quickly let me share a coupon link in the comments section right now. So if you follow this coupon link, you will get to our ITTT website. And this coupon will be stored on your browser for a while. So you don't need to pay anything right now. No pressure. If you make up your mind like in a couple of days, it's totally normal, because it will still be on your computer, and you will be able to get this same discount. So just make sure you follow the link and you have it stored somewhere on your browser, right? And here is where I start my Q&A session. So if you guys have any questions related to today's topic, which is online teaching platforms, or if you want to know anything else about TEFL teaching in general, like maybe teaching abroad, or I don't know, getting TEFL certified, I am waiting for your questions, and I'll try my best to answer them. And I suppose there were some questions already, so I'll quickly check the comments box. And you guys, well, try to think of anything you're interested in. And yeah, I'll try my best to help you. Okay, so there was a question about the age. Well, generally speaking, if we take online teaching, it is possible to teach at whatever age you are. No strings attached. It's not a requirement that all teachers online have to be under or over a specific age. If you are a professional teacher, if you have your TEFL certification or any other qualifications, and you've been teaching like for ages already, it's just quite normal that you teach at whatever age you are. So don't worry about how old you are. Just start teaching online, and you'll figure out if it's your cup of tea or not. Okay. And there was another comment. As I figure out, you want to find a resource with different lesson plans and things for adults. Okay, so you want to have ready-made lesson plans, and they should be targeted at beginners and at adults. Last time, I have already recommended Cambridge website, the Cambridge website. It's a great resource where you can find a lot of useful materials for free. If you also passed your TEFL course with ITTT, we also provide some ready-made lesson plans and teaching materials. So make sure you find your confirmation email, because our managers usually distribute it this way. But if you are not TEFL certified with us, it's totally okay. I strongly recommend you to check Cambridge website, the Cambridge website. It's like, let me see, it's cambridgeenglish.org. It has all useful materials related to English teaching, self-development as well. There are many interesting articles. So just quickly check it out. It can be really useful to you. I have just shared the link to this website via the chat box. Okay, and there is a question related to IELTS. So basically, you just need to book your exam and start preparing. Last year, I passed my language test and got my IELTS as well. I needed just like about 2 weeks for preparation to get to know the exam format and tasks. So it's not that difficult if your language level is already like at the C1 level. But I know some people need a little bit more time in order to prepare for the format. It's always very specific to some people. What I recommend you is find some useful YouTube lessons. There are many stuff. There is much stuff related to IELTS, so it's no big deal, I suppose. If you want to get it, just go and get it. That was my point of view, like a couple of years ago, but I still was afraid to pass it. And then I just booked the test and I had to do it. Yeah. All right. And there is one more question. Beginning a teaching career in a foreign country with no previous experience. So what I recommend you to do is go to our weblog. Just give me a second, I'll share you the link to it. Okay. So if you follow this link, you'll find a lot of useful articles related to both teaching abroad, online teaching, lesson planning, and so on. There are a lot of useful materials on our social networks as well. But generally speaking, if you want to work abroad, if you want to teach ESL abroad, you should find a country which will be suitable to you. There are still some companies that hire native speakers only, and it's absolutely normal. But to find out which countries hire non-natives as well, go to their embassies websites and check out the information they provide there. That's the first step to take. And what else? If you want to find a job in a foreign country, you should also start limit your choice of countries and find according to your preferences. On Facebook, in our group on Facebook, we usually share different different job offers. So make sure you go there as well and check out um, um, recent posts, because we work with different recruiters from all over the world. So this is something to start from, but I should mention that every person is unique, and it's like 100% on you. You have to be proactive in terms of finding a job, either in a real classroom or in an online classroom. So if you want to start teaching, just start. Try to do anything. It's like 100% on you. It's your responsibility. But just try to make sure that you also check out various resources where free advice is provided. Okay. 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 Thank you for this comment. I think that TEFL certification is quite important because especially if you're not a professional teacher, it is something to start with, and it will be a proof of your interest and of your desire to work in this sphere, right? And there is a comment requesting a recommendation on speaking practice. I use such app which is called Elsa Speaks, or just Elsa, I don't know. It's an app for iPhones and Androids, so you can check it in an app store. This app is really cool for practicing your speaking skills and especially pronunciation. You can also find a speaking buddy. I think it's a great idea to practice your speaking skills as well. Okay. So guys, if you don't have any further questions, let me just quickly remind you that ITTT is presented on various online platforms, on various social media. Please follow us, and you'll be updated regularly. If you're interested in online teaching or teaching abroad, it's a great idea to follow us, because we try our best to share useful tips and our personal experiences. And this Friday, my colleague Linda will also go live to share her professional experience as well. She lives in South Korea. She is a native speaker, so if you're interested in something related to her experience, make sure you come to her live. And thanks a lot for joining me today. I always appreciate that you guys comment and communicate with me during these sessions. I hope to see you soon again. And one more thing, if you have any specific requests for our future live sessions, make sure you give your ideas. You can share it right now in the comments box, and next time we'll choose something which will definitely be interested to you. So maybe you are willing to get some specific topic as an online session. So feel free to share your ideas. And if you don't have any further questions, thanks for joining me today, and we'll finish this session, and I hope we'll see each other next week. I always notice that there are many people coming regularly. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate your interest, and I hope to see you again, of course. And those who joined us for the first time, thank you so much for being here with me today. If you still have any ideas on the future sessions, feel free to comment right now or maybe later. This live session will be saved on Facebook and on YouTube, so you will be able to watch it again if you need. Right, so thank you so much for being here. Okay, thanks for this last question. I would like to teach in South Korea. I'm age 60. Can I be allowed? So it depends on the Korean regulations. So what I recommend you to do is to check their requirements on maybe their embassy website. But there is also a section on our TEFL website. It is called TEFL frequently asked questions, and I feel like we had this information as well about teaching in South Korea. Just give me a second. I'll try to find it. All right. And by the way, if you want to know a little bit more about teaching in South Korea, make sure you join Linda on Friday, because she will have her Q&A session this Friday, and you'll be able to ask whatever questions you are interested in. So right now, here is an article related to jobs in South Korea. You can check it out, and I hope you'll find your answer. Okay. Some countries definitely have their restrictions about the age, but I feel like it's not Korea, but I'm not sure. So we need to check it out. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for joining me today. If this was the last question, let's finish the session, and I'll see you next week again. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you. And yeah, have a good day, guys, or maybe a good night. I hope to see you next week, and bye-bye.